Alright, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here, checking in real quick. It is August 27th, 2020, about 6:57 p.m. West Coast time here. And I am back from Louisiana and Texas area, safe and sound. I'll go ahead and go over that here in a little bit after the update video. Do a quick recap tonight of the earthquake activity. Earlier, when I did an update, unfortunately, the broadcasting software that I had was messing up. Not a good thing, so I went ahead and reset that. Everything seems to be working back as it should right now, so trying to figure out what's doing it, and I'll get it fixed. No worries. Taking a look at the earthquake activity from the USGS here, 2.5 and above on this map here. A little bit of activity out here in California, also down in Baja, Mexico region. To see all the activity, though, we need to go down to the all magnitudes here over the last 24 hours, and we can see the large number of earthquakes up here right around the Ridgecrest area, kind of seeing a little swarming of aftershocks. Of course, remember July 4th, July 5th of last year, we've seen that activity really pick up following those large quakes there, and it's still occurring, a year later. And I'm sure that will continue for some time. There's a little bit of a quarry blast over here along the Garlock fault zone for some reason. Not for sure what's going on with that. These are kind of micro quakes or micro explosions, if you will. 1.4 right next to the Garlock fault system, and also a little smaller one over here southwest of Mojave area. Not for sure what those folks are up to out there, but I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Hopefully, it's not to trigger a big quake. That would not be a good thing. I wouldn't be for one, I wouldn't be blowing explosives off next to a major fault system. Another one over here, 2.3, a little bit bigger one, just on the California side of the border right there. It's a pretty good sized blast out there. Not for sure what they're doing out there, but it's definitely kind of strange. Let's go ahead and look at the satellite view real quick and see what's out there. Let's see if I can find that. Satellite view is right here. I'm kind of curious. The 2.3 is a pretty good sized quake out there, or at least an explosion. Some type of outfit going on out here. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not for sure exactly what they're mining for out here, but obviously it looks like it's been around for quite some time. Not anything new. That blast, the 2.3 quarry blast over here, looks like just off of the property area. I don't see any specific mountains over there, so kind of interesting. Definitely keep an eye on that. Not a good thing to do, right? Put a bunch of explosives in the ground in a in a majorly seismic built-up area, such as Southern California goes. It's not a smart move. Lots of swarming going on in SoCal over here along the San Jacinto fault system. Also, just on the east side of the San Andreas fault system here on the Pacific Plate side. On the North American side, North American plate here. Kind of on the Mecca Hills fault system here. Not any big quakes, but this is a little cluster of small microquakes that we're keeping an eye on. Any type of cluster of quakes there, we kind of open an eye, and keep an eye on it. Up north along the Willits area, up here in Northern California, still seeing some activity. They had a 3.5 quake strike there. I think it was late last night, still within the 24-hour period there. Taking a look over here to the list. Let's zoom in a little bit here, just southeast of Willits. You can see that cluster of quakes. It's been going on here for a couple weeks now. 3.5, the largest in that cluster of the 24-hour period. Fairly deep as well. Something going on here. Just a little weak fracture area in the crust out there. Out there in the Willits area. Cascadia subduction zone, pretty quiet. Even looking at the trimmer map, it's fairly quiet. This here is new activity. This wasn't here during the last update video, which had no sound. So we definitely point that out. It's kind of new activity, even though the dates on that, they're kind of interesting, because this was not here earlier on my update video. I know yesterday there was no activity because I checked that. Let's see here. See, no activity there. So it's been relatively quiet up there. That new activity just popped up there today, and just kind of strange. Yellowstone National Park there, showing some seismic activity, sporadic throughout the area. It seems as though a lot of these stations out here are having independent quakes of themselves. Stuff like this. Where'd that go here? Let's go back over to, man, there's just a bunch cluttered up here. Trying to get the one underneath there. Okay, we can just go from here. This stuff up here in Norris Junction, there we go. Pretty good size. Little, you know, it's a handful of quakes there in a short amount of time is what I'm trying to say. Some more down here later in the day. Also within the past couple hours, we're seeing some quakes there as well. These are all micro quakes, but some of them are showing up on like Mary Lake Station, and you can just barely see that activity show up there on the Lake Yellowstone seismograph station there, just barely. So that's how you know those are official earthquakes right there. Definitely they will show up on other seismographs, depending though on the sensitivity of the seismograph stations themselves. This activity over here is strange, is all I'm going to say. It's kind of weird. I'm not 100% sure what this activity is. It looks as though some activity showed up on a station further to the south, but it's hard to say. I'm going to have to do a little bit more investigation into that. It could be some type of instrument error or some type of maybe heavy equipment up there. I don't know if they're doing road work up there. It's possible, but if you look up here to the north, that also showed up here as well. So it's worth mentioning whenever we see a signature like that, a long drawn out signature. Those don't look like quakes. It looks like a continuous rumble, if you will. You know, I don't know. We'll have to look into that a little bit more. If it was just on one station, I would call it instrument error or some interference locally. But when it shows up on 3 distinct stations here, over here on the east side of the park, and these stations are independent of each other, then I start questioning what's going on there. Like I said, there's earthquake activity throughout the park in many different locations there. Not big earthquake activity, just microquakes. So kind of showing the unsettling events going on right now in Yellowstone, pretty much all over throughout the south and up here to the northwest. Central Park, or the central part of the park here, Old Faithful's always set to a very interesting level because it never shows anything. I don't know why they would have it so high like that, but I don't control the station, so it's on them. So we will keep an eye on all this activity out here in Yellowstone National Park. It's rather mind-bending. As far as the rest of the globe goes, folks, it's relatively quiet since I've been gone. I know Costa Rica did have that earthquake last night, what, at 6.0. We have to go back past that 24-hour period to see it. 6.0 right there. Since then, over the last 24 hours, not a whole lot of earthquake activity to report. All these red color rings here, just about ready to drop off the globe. So hopefully this thing is going to be showing the audio today. I'm not for sure what's going on with the microphone and the streaming issues during the update video, but I will work on it and we'll get it fixed. So also, folks, we're just we played it safe with the hurricane activity there in the Gulf area. Decided to not chase the hurricane due to the fact of the extreme storm surge possibility. Luckily, that extreme storm surge possibility did not happen. There was definitely some storm surge, but not like they were saying. I don't think it was as bad as they had forecasted, and that's due to the fact that Hurricane Laura was significantly on a roll. She was ready to just come in and move out, and that's what happened. She didn't sit around. She didn't take her time. She just came in with a bang and left just as quick as she came in. Strong winds. Yes, there was some storm surge, but not as bad as they had forecasted. That's kind of what led me to the decision to not stick around, was the storm surge. So my common sense kind of kicked in. I didn't want to drown out there. I didn't want to get flooded. I didn't want to get stuck out there. So plus I had to catch a flight today, and no telling, it takes a long time for water to go down. Anyway, folks, I'm back safe. Everything's good here on my end. You know, I hope the folks out there in the southwest Louisiana area all made it out okay. There was a few folks out there around Cameron that decided to stick around. I'm hoping they decided to change their mind because it was probably not good in that region when the hurricane came through. So anyway, folks, I'm going to check this video out. Hopefully everything's working on it. We will chat you guys a little bit later. Stay safe.